What's up, everybody? I'm NoLucksGiven, and today we are going to look at the second match in my very first Dominion Online League. So again, we're going to be playing 6 games, 3 games where we're on the play, and 3 games where we are playing second, all against the same opponent. This is a round-robin style tournament where we are in divisions, and then based off how well you do in the division, you'll either advance, stay in the same one, or drop down to a division lower. This has been a pretty cool experience. Just finished playing my second match here, and I tried to use some of the feedback that I heard in the previous YouTube comments and put some of that stuff in action. So to some extent, I'm trying to make some bigger plays in these games, and you'll see some of that come to fruition, and you'll also see some pretty bad failures where I just don't pay attention to what's going on and my opponent just wins the game while I'm not paying attention. So here we go. This is my second league match in the Dominion Online League. We got a Necropolis hovel, what are these called? Shelters. So we've got a shelter game, we've got Way of the Worm, exile an estate from the supply. Okay, so if you ever have an extra action, I believe ways are actions. We'll find out. We'll find out shortly. Yes, they are actions because that's right here. The start of your turn +1 buy. So for 4 mana, you always get an extra buy. We've got rats. We've got Fool's Gold. Just tell him I'm just looking over the cards here. I'm going to go into Kingdom View. None of these cards, like, particularly stand out to me in particular. So I know Fool's Gold works if you get a bunch of them. Haven, set aside a card from your hand face down. The start of your next turn, put that into your hand. Okay, and it's 2 for a +1/+1, so not a horrible card. The start of your cleanup, you may trash an action card. You would discard from play this turn. Okay. Well, that's tricky because you need additional actions to make it work. Here's a way to get additional actions. Rats is certainly a card that we could improve. Rats are so dangerous, though. Okay, you may play an Avanto from your hand, right? And then Avanto lets you play Sauna from your hand, and it's just +3, so it lets you chain in. Well, I like that. And it also, Sauna has an additional ability. While this is in play, while you play a silver, you may trash a card from your hand. Well, that seems pretty cool on a 4-3 split. I don't know if we can guaranteed get to Avano, but that's at least getting you positive interaction from a card that's otherwise just +1/+1. Reveal the top 4 cards of your deck, then discard them. +1 per differently named card revealed. So, yeah, we're looking at like a gold, but it costs an action, and you've got to mill some cards, and it also gets better the later into the game you are. And then if we go to the improve rats, rebuild play, name a card. Okay, rebuild is for victory cards only, so it turns duchies into provinces. Who are we waiting on? Okay, we're waiting on me here. So 4. I do think I'm just going to want to start with Sauna Silver. The other play would be like improve rats, I think, right off the bat, but that seems a little bit tricky. And Way of the Worm, though, seems like it's always worth doing, because those estates are just going to dry up, and we're just exiling them. So you can keep those in exile forever. So that's basically like a free province at the cost of some actions. Obviously, we don't want to really hinder our early game growth. But I think Sauna plus silver is going to be the way to go, because it's going to allow us to... Oh, and he with the 4. went for the silver. Well, for my 4, I'm going to go for the sauna, I do believe. I do think scheme is pretty cool, and warehouse is interesting, but I'm going to lead with the sauna. I don't even think mining village is that important because I don't think we're going to be hurting for actions here. So I think the play is going to be okay, and they are going to grab an estate. That's why I feel like we want to just grab them. And I mean, with Necropolis, that's just totally free. But with something like Sauna, you do have to think, okay, do I want the card from this, or do I just want to turn this into an estate? Now, my opponent grabbing the silver means that he can't grab the sauna this turn, so they are just going, yeah, double silver. That's what I thought they might wind up doing. So let's grab an estate ourselves, and then I think I'm going to grab a silver because it does work so well with sauna. So maybe my opponent's grabbing multiple silvers, so that way when they do decide to grab sauna, it's working out well for them. Yeah, so that seems fine, but I feel like if that's the route you're going to go, you should grab a sauna whenever you have 4 and a silver whenever you have 3. In a hand like this, I think I just play sauna, then I turn Necropolis into a worm, and then I will be able to trash my overgrown estate, which won't really do anything for us. +1 card won't really be super influential. My opponent with 5 here, so that is interesting. Oh, audio is not working. Well, that is good to know. Give me 1 second. Ha 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 ha. Oh, can you hear me now? No? Properties. Test, test. All right. Let's do this play first. What does harvest do? Almost more into the sauna. I have no clue what's going on with my audio right now. Maybe I have to do this. Test, test. Okay. I guess I'll take a harvest. Yeah, seems fine to have like 1 harvest in the mix here. Because we'll certainly, well, I don't even know. Oh, it's working now? Oh, this is my mic. Oh, yeah, okay. So I guess I fixed it. Thank you very much for letting me know. I think we should be able to get a province basically anytime we play a harvest. We are giving up these worms here. Unless we wanted to do another harvest, we could just like harvest this and then, but I mean, this has got to get us to a province here, so no, it's just barely off. Wow, it got us to 7. Okay, well, that's a little bit frustrating. How much do Avantos cost? 5. Does feel like I probably made a mistake somewhere along the line here. Let's just grab a gold for now. I do want more silvers. You know what? I think I will buy the fair because silvers are going to be so good with the saunas and Avantos. I probably should have already done so. But I don't think we're hurting that much. My opponent's got 3 extra estates. We've got 2 extra estates here. So, oh, and this is a harvest. Oh, so I actually do have to make an interesting decision here too then. All right, well, let's let my opponent get the estates, I guess, right? Because I want to get this fair. So we only have to hit one thing here. 7 again. A little bit awkward. I don't know. Do I want to just grab a gold with these 7s? Seems kind of bad. I think the harvest is going to make me want to get these fairs. So let's take the fairs, because I think that's going to, with these 7 turns, which if I had already had it last turn, I could have grabbed Sauna plus silver, which I think is just so much better than the gold that I have in my deck because of the synergy with Sauna and silver. I can start making my deck a little bit smaller and trashing some of these coppers and stuff and have my deck just be silvers. So that way I can really go off with the Avantos and then with the extra buy, get to a point where I'm buying multiple provinces in a turn. I don't know if anything else here grants additional buys, but here let's just go ahead and worm that estate and then grab another Sauna. I'm definitely going to want to grab some silver soon. Let's see, does anything else give buys? I don't believe so, actually. Yeah, so fair's the only way to get buys, and it's a pretty good way to get buys in that. I would definitely be looking to get a province this turn, especially because I can trash my hovel. So I'm definitely going to enjoy that if I can. I just have to hit 3 unique, and we did. Those flash by so quickly, but I did hit 3 unique, and now I can trash my hovel. So gotta feel good about a turn like that, and I'm not going to be using the additional buys when I don't have to. All of the estates are gone, but we're up by a little bit, and now I'm basically... yeah, the fair has already kind of lost a lot of its value. I'll buy 2 silvers before I buy a gold, but I'm going to buy a Avanto now whenever I can because I have 3 of the saunas. And I'm not going to buy a Avanto plus silver. So that is a little bit awkward. My opponent with a 7 hand goes for a rebuild. Way of the Worm is totally donezo. We've got all these saunas. Can we hit a single silver? We cannot, but we have 6 with 2 buys, which I brought up is a double silver purchasing turn. So now hopefully I will try to trash some of my coppers, and we shall see. Rebuild's really interesting because I assume my opponent left their estates. Yeah, all of the estates are in exile. So now you're rebuilding, and you're just rebuilding duchies into provinces. So assumedly my opponent's going to start buying some duchies pretty soon. But we're just going to straight up buy provies where we can, which is not right now. So 7, I believe that's a 5+2. I think I want to go Avanto plus Haven. I think that's pretty straightforward here for us. I do want to potentially pick up some silvers, but I think I'm going to pick up silvers on 6 turns. And I will catch you later, Team Monkey, if you are able to join us before the match wraps. Okay, that's great. We're going to be able to trash some coppers. So I think I just focus on getting these coppers out of my hand, and we'll just buy something worth 4. Not sure exactly what that is. It might be double Haven. No, I don't actually even really like Haven. Oh, you use Haven to hide your provinces, don't you? Okay, I'll do that. So let's trash a copper, just get these coppers out of my deck, play this. I'm not going to trash my province, and then I believe I am just going to grab 2 havens here. Could grab a mining village, could grab a silver, But Haven keeps the deck small because it allows you to hide your victory points. I think that's the idea. So we are going to try that out. We've got 14 cards in our deck. I believe 3 of them are Saunas. I believe my opponent has 2 of the Saunas. We can do a quick look here. Let's see. They grabbed a Sauna, and did they grab another Sauna? No. So I might have 4 of the Saunas, actually. Okay. I don't hate that. Okay, they trashed a duchy for a province. We're down a little bit here, but I think we're set up to start doing really big things. They are going to start grabbing all of the duchies, of course. We're going to go Avanto. Yeah, we should be hitting Saunas off of all of our Avantos at this point. And now we should have a pretty big turn, right? 10. Okay. You can't be mad at a 10 turn. That's either 2 Avantos, and that seems really tempting, or Haven plus Province. My opponent's rebuilding a lot. My opponent's getting 3 victory points a turn, basically, buying a duchy, turning a duchy into a province. But I think if I just grab 2 Avantos, that's just perfectly, that's 10. It's a perfect 10. I think that's going to be really good for us here, because now we have like a 4 in, we basically have a 1 in 5 chance to hit an Avanto off this Sauna, or we could hit another Sauna and then hit the Avanto. So I feel like we've got a pretty decent chance here to just keep going and snowball a win condition of sorts here. So they're going to trash a duchy into a province. That puts them up 3 more. And then will they have enough to buy another duchy this turn? Probably not doing anything else. They don't have enough to buy another duchy. So that's kind of what we were counting on there too. They're only really getting a duchy each turn, but they're getting a duchy each turn by getting rid of the provinces. We will be able to silver sauna some stuff. I'm not sure exactly what we should call that, but we are going to get rid of some stuff here. Let's play a Haven, and we totally missed, but we've got 8. So I am just going to, do I have to? Do I have to set a card aside? I do. All right, well, if I have to set a card aside, let's think about this. We're going to play a silver, trash a copper. It's going to leave us with 4. Look, I'm thinking I just set the gold aside. Have a big turn next turn. Yeah, let's do that. Set this aside. Let's play a silver, and I am going to trash a copper. I know I could get the last Avanto here, but I think I just want to grab another silver and be okay with that. Could have also grabbed a duchy. Maybe that would have been okay too, but I think we're going to be able to have just like a huge turn here where we just grab 2 provinces, and that's going to make things pretty difficult for my opponent. We're also going to be able to Haven a province or Haven some extra stuff. I know we have a gold coming. My opponent grabs a province, so they're doing pretty good. We will have to hit off this Avanto, so let's go for the Haven first. And let's just set aside a province so we don't have to deal with it. And now I have to get somewhat lucky, but pretty reasonable. So we'll play a Sauna, and then I can play an Avanto, and then I can play a Sauna, and then I can play an Avanto. And now I have 2 actions left. So let's just go ahead and, our harvest isn't even going to hit at this point. Let's harvest for 2. Let's Haven, draw one of those 2. I guess, let's see. 1, 2, 5 plus 8 plus 7. Well, we can get rid of all of this stuff, which I think is really good. 5 plus 8. I can buy duchy plus province. We're going to need a little bit more cash in our deck, actually. Oh, I have to set the card aside, right? Okay. Yeah, let's just set aside a silver. Let's end our actions. I'm going to play a silver, and I'm going to get rid of all of this copper. Oh, shit. That was the wrong button. I thought I was still trashing. Okay, I'm going to get rid of all of this. Trash. Trash. Play a silver. We're going to trash this as well. Don't trash. And now I'm going to buy a province and a silver. And I think we're set up to have pretty good turns for the rest of the game. Hopefully my opponent doesn't have good turns for the rest of the game, but we're basically like one province behind my opponent. And I think we'll be able to have a double province turn soon. I basically want to, wherever I can, try to hide the provinces in the havens. So that way I can hang on to all my cash. I think that's going to be the best course of action for us. All right, my opponent's got some good stuff going on there too. Avanto into Sauna. Rebuilding a duchy, so now they're at 25. They're 10 up. But if we can buy both of the provinces this turn, we win. Assuming they don't buy a duchy. They do. Okay. Oh, no. That math was already with them buying a duchy. Great. Okay. Great. Okay, so let's lead off here with... I don't know if it matters. Really don't know if it matters, but we have less Avantos. Let's Haven first, because I can ditch this province. Then, oh, I already have 2 Saunas. Okay, let's Sauna into Avanto, into Sauna, into Avanto, into Sauna. Oh, I'm out of cards. Okay, let's stop chaining. Let's just end our actions, play all this. What is this worth? 13. Oh, that's rough. 13's rough because that's only 9. So even if I get the province and duchy, all they would have to do is play a rebuild and we lose. Okay, so we've got to do something like duchy plus gold, and now next turn I'll be able to buy 2 provinces if they totally miss. Okay, and our hand isn't great. They buy a duchy, so we're down by 10, but our hand isn't great. We're going to go Sauna. We missed the Avanto. We've got 8 right here, though. Well, let's see what we got. We got 3 off of that. So we could buy duchy plus gold. Duchy plus gold is pretty tempting. Could also buy another Avanto. The game is like almost over. I feel like I have to buy duchy plus gold. All right, and now we're going to try to Sauna Avanto, and hopefully that is enough to get us through here. All right, they go Sauna, rebuild. That's going to take out a duchy and give a province. They should be naming province there, shouldn't they be? All right, and they grabbed a duchy. So even if we grab the duchy and the province, we lose. So, okay, well played by my opponent. They are going to get us on this one. I will, I should just concede, right? Plus 9, that would get me to 30. Yeah, let's hit that. Let's hit that resign button. There is Yeah, there's no way out of this one. We could have done it. We could have probably gotten a province and a duchy this turn, but I think, yeah, we were a little too slow. Just messing around there. I think we probably had to get that additional buy a little bit earlier than we did. So well played by my opponent there. They were able to get that first W, but we are not giving up. And we'll see if we can get him here for game 2. Alrighty. So we are going to be on the play for this one. Definitely made some mistakes in that game, but we're going to shake it off. I'm going to go ahead and read the events first. And events are for additional buys. First one is once per turn, if you have no treasures in play, gain a card costing up to 4. So at the very least, you can always grab an Ironmonger. Okay, so free Ironmonger if you have an otherwise bad turn. It also means that something like Candlestick Maker that just gains treasures could basically allow you to save all of your coffers. So that's kind of interesting. +1 buy, look at the top 5 cards of your deck. Okay. Somewhat interesting there. And then let's look at the rest of the cards. Changeling, trash a card, gain a copy of a card that you have in play. I like lackeys. Black market is always a lot of fun. Farmer's market is always a lot of fun. But I'm not sure exactly what we are going for here with this kingdom. So with a 4, I can grab an Ironmonger. And Ironmonger seems fine. I think it's like always pretty decent. Until we start to get additional buys, which I can see from Candlestick Maker. I can see from Farmer's Market. Yeah, I'm probably just going to stack up on a bunch of Ironmongers. And now so I can get a Changeling instead, but I don't see any purpose to that just yet. Could have grabbed a potion as well. Maybe I should have grabbed a potion. Maybe I'll grab a potion this turn using alms. I believe my opponent just grabbed a potion there. No, they grabbed an Ironmonger. So I think I just hit alms and then I'll be able to grab a potion. Golem is really cool. And I guess we kind of want to go Turbo Swamp Hag, right? Stops them from buying for a turn, or they're going to get cursed. So the fastest way to Swamp Hag, I think it's just going to be Ironmonger into Swamp Hag. I could also see buying a silver or a Farmer's Market here. Let's just grab another Ironmonger. I'm pretty sure that Ironmonger is never bad. I like in the early game, it's basically just a silver because you either hit an estate, so you draw an additional card, or you hit a copper, and then you get an additional gold, so or an additional coin, so it becomes a silver. My opponent played their copper, so they're not going to be able to alms unless they do a take back. Which they could totally do. Yeah, they are going to do a take back there and just grab alms into Ironmonger. I think that's going to be what we're doing for a little bit until these Ironmongers are gone. Again, I think Candlestick Maker is good this game because of alms Ironmonger. But there's also no reason to do that when you could just grab an Ironmonger every turn. So, yeah, let's just grab an Ironmonger every turn. I'm not even gonna bother playing my cards and showing my opponent what's what. Just Alm's Ironmonger seems good enough to me. So they hit an estate, but that means they draw an additional card. So it turned into 2 cards, and even if those 2 cards are 2 coppers, it's basically the same as a silver. So that's why I'm thinking Ironmonger is just like worst case scenario, a silver, and then late game, it gets pretty good. So will they have enough for the Swamp Hag? Not quite yet. I think we might be able to, because these Ironmongers are basically silvers a pop, so that should give us enough to grab 6 total. And yeah, let's just discard this, and then Ironmonger again, and so we revealed an estate. Oh, we drew multiple estates, unfortunately, off the Ironmonger. Let us, I'll just discard the copper, that's fine. So we did not really hit here, but we can buy a potion so that we can buy the golem. And I do think the golem's good, but I really want to get the Swamp Hag as soon as possible. So let's just go for this. And now this turn, I think we're like guaranteed to get the Swamp Hag. My opponent goes for the stables on their first 5, which is interesting. Discard a treasure for +3 and +1. Well, stables is pretty good too. But I feel like just the sooner you start cursing people, the better it winds up being. And of course, I draw another estate, and then we're going to reveal an action. So this is not going to work. But I suppose we'll just get another Ironmonger. Maybe they do fall off if you have too many. Yeah, because I can't do anything with the extra action. So revealing an Ironmonger is like the only dead draw. I've got both estates right here. So the last 3 cards in my deck I think should all be coppers. So this should be enough to get a Swamp Hag this turn. My opponent is definitely beating me to 5s, as they're able to grab even a 6 here, potentially. And they are going to go for an Ironmonger. So don't feel that bad about what I've been doing, because I just have a bunch of Ironmongers. Of course, we hit an Ironmonger there. Sure, let's keep it at this point, because we'll draw it off this one. We'll keep this. We'll draw here. We'll keep this. And now I'm at 4 again, I believe. Oh, no. Okay, I revealed a copper twice. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so I revealed 2 coppers during all those shenanigans. So now I will finally grab a Swamp Hag. And I guess, yeah, you can't turn a curse into a changeling. So that is totally fine. We'll Ironmonger, and then if we can grab another Swamp Hag, we can. Otherwise, we'll maybe just grab another Ironmonger. Let's keep this, and we will be able to grab a second Swamp Hag. So let's go ahead and do that. So now I've got 2 Swamp Hags. I should be able to start cursing my opponent a little bit, and then we'll worry about how we are going to draw out and finish the game. I'm not sure if I will go the golem route or if I'll just grab like stables or something like that. We already, I feel like, probably have a lot of actions with all of the ironmonging that we have. Let's just keep that. Play this. Definitely discard estates. Great. And there is our first Swamp Hag. And we do actually have both of these actions that we can play. I'll keep this on top. That's fine. So we Swamp Hag. Opponent definitely not going to want to gain anything next turn. And I might as well just grab the penultimate Ironmonger here. And they've been doing us well so far. So we'll see if we can keep riding that wave. A lot of times I get into in Dominion like a specific strategy and I just buy that same exact card every time. My opponent really not going to be doing too much here. But that should be fine for them. No way they... Oh, wow, they used a Villagers. Not sure if they know exactly what's going on with the Swamp Hag. We're also going to be able to just buy a province this turn. Well, that's going to be pretty tempting. And my opponent grabs a province, but they also grab 2 curses. Oh no, they should not grab that silver. We might see an undo here. They shouldn't grab a silver for 2 curses. No way that's worth it. Wow. They go for it, and my opponent only grabbed 2 victory points on the turn as a total. I'm going to play these Ironmongers, try to find our estate. So I'm going to keep this estate. I guess it doesn't really matter. Oh, yeah, it does. Yeah, it does. So this is perfect. Now we have... we've drawn our estate, so we're not going to hit them next turn. Maybe I should have kept going... but we are definitely kicking our opponent's butt right now, 9-5, and we should just be able to try to draw through everything as quickly as possible. And Ironmonger, I think with these big Swamp Hag turns, I might potentially want more buys, which we'd have to get through the Candlestick Maker, though it's going to be tough because I'm not really going to want to take a turn off when I could otherwise buy like a Swamp Hag or something. So let's see, my opponent went for a gold, so we are not being attacked at all. Gotta love that. Let's just discard everything and try to find Swamp Hags as soon as possible. All right, drawing a bunch of cards, and we did find a Swamp Hag. Let's discard this, try to find a second Swamp Hag. Well, now it's tricky. I guess we want to keep this copper on top regardless here. And we'll discard this one. So now we know we have a Swamp Hag in these remaining cards. And when we auto-play our treasures, does that get us to 8? Wow, it does. That is pretty great. That's a pretty good turn. To Swamp Hag setting up our next turn while also purchasing a province. Got to feel pretty good about where we're at in this game. It's a very direct and specific strategy, attacking while buying the provinces, and Swamp Hag is a pretty powerful card. Let's see if my opponent buys this turn. They do buy a gold, grabbing another curse. So they now have 5 curses, so we are feeling pretty good. I'm just going to, well, I'll keep Ironmonger, I suppose, and I'll keep Ironmonger again. And then I'm just going to discard everything to try to get through our deck, so that way our Swamp Hags can come to life once more. And I'm going to buy another province. We're potentially risking flooding out all of the provinces here, but I think I will, at the worst case, be able to keep buying some more Swamp Hags and getting those into the rotation, at which point it's just going to make things very difficult for my opponent. Now, they do have the Farmer's Market. Maybe I do want to get into this Farmer's Market game. This is when it's basically on the 5th use. So I could buy a farmer's market and potentially steal the market from my opponent. So yeah, that feels pretty tempting. We're going to go ahead and buy a farmer's market this turn then. Let's discard. Yeah, let's just try to churn through the deck as much as possible. And then I am just going to go ahead and grab a farmer's market. Nothing else fancy going on. I would have had 7, so I would have been just short of buying a province there. At least I'm pretty sure I would have had 7, right? Yeah, 2 coppers in my hand, plus 5 coin on the board. So grabbing a farmer's market seems good, and if I can grab this bounty from my opponent, that is just going to be super deflating for them, I am hoping. So Ironmonger, we discarding, and then let's just Swamp Hag, and I might go ahead and buy another farmer's market just to make sure that we got all that locked and loaded. Yeah, that seems fun. We might even be able to play multiple farmer's markets in the same turn with our Ironmongers hitting both of them. We don't really have any insane draw, so I'm really not banking on that. We'd probably need a Stables in our deck before we could really guarantee that we're doing that. But Stables might be a buy in the future here as well. My opponent says, I'm screwed. Nicely played. Yeah, looking good for me on this one. I think my opponent's got a bunch of curses. They bought a Stables, grabbed another curse. They're just falling slowly into oblivion here. We're going to discard this. Just keep playing Ironmongers. Keep on discarding. That's interesting. Well, I guess we want it. Yeah, I guess we want it. So now if we play the Farmer's Market, we give them the Farmer's Market bounty. So I really don't love that. I think I'm just going to... Oh, but that would give us so much... That would give us 4 coin. Yeah, maybe we just play it, and this helps us to end the game that much faster. So you can have the Farmer's Market bounty, and then I'm going to go ahead and grab a province. And I believe we're going to grab another Farmer's Market. Lackeys is fine too. Black Market is also always fun. Like, that's my opponent's only out here is Black Market, and try to grab some really cool stuff in that. But I think we'll just grab a Farmer's Market. I think that that is good enough. My opponent will be able to get the huge Farmer's Market bounty this turn. If they can't, no, I'm sure they can. If they're, oh, they can't, and they have 7. Wow, they must just have so many curses and be feeling very frustrated right now. Well, this will probably draw the resignation from them this turn when we steal the Farmer's Market bounty. Sure, you can definitely have an undo there. They are potentially just going to grab a gold instead of the stables. Makes sense. So we'd love to hit another action here. We did not, but we did hit an Ironmonger, so we can still hit an action in the future. We're going to discard this as well. And yeah, I have to go for the Farmer's Market play here. So grab all of those, and then I am just going to grab another Farmer's Market because when you claim the bounty on the Farmer's Market, you trash the one that you play. So now things are really not looking good for my opponent. They're going to find their Farmer's Market this turn. But yeah, that must have been a frustrating place for them. And revealing Curse off Ironmonger, that is something that I didn't even consider. Ironmonger does something different depending on what is revealed. If a curse is revealed, you don't get any of those bonuses, so that has gotta hurt as well. Discarding the province. We got a bunch of Farmers Markets here. Let's go ahead and no, we'll keep the Ironmonger. So with 2 actions, well, here I think we can make use of alms actually pretty nicely. I think what we will do is Swamp Hag and Farmer's Market, and I'm going to neglect to play this copper, and let's just instead do some alms stuff. And let us first alms... I guess I could grab a lackey. Yeah, I'd like 1 lackey. Oh, this is once per turn. Okay, that's fine. Sure. Nothing more we can do about that now. There wasn't really that much better of a play that I could have done otherwise. I think I do want some villagers, and we are on to game 3. So, yeah, just cementing our lead there. We were looking pretty good. My opponent with 8 curses by the end of the game, and we had 4 provinces. So, yeah, we were looking pretty good there. My opponent is going to be on the play for game 3. And hopefully we have a repeat of game 2, not of game 1. Let's go ahead and take a look at the kingdom. The start of your turn, discard any number of coppers and draw that many cards. I really like that. I also really like Way of the Turtle. It lets you push actions into your next turn. Overlord is really good. Trash a card from your hand, gain 2 cards onto your deck with 1 costing exactly 1 more, 1 costing exactly 1 less. In either order. How does Develop work with copper? It's obviously pretty good to trash an estate. Snowy Village. I think I am going to ask a rules question in the Dominion Discord here. So let's see. Basically, I'm curious if you would have to grab a copper with the one less. So it looks like the judges are saying that if there isn't a card that exists at exactly that cost, then you ignore that part of it. So you'd be able to develop estates into snowy villages and silvers, which is interesting. You'd be able to develop hunting grounds into like something different. Let's see. Trash a card from your hand. +1 for each one that it costs. Well, that's pretty good too, the salvager. I like Village Green as well. +1 card, +2 actions. Okay, Bazaar is obviously pretty powerful. And then Haunted Woods is a good late game card, but it does also give you... It might also give you 5. Or it might also just give you 3 cards, which is nice. Interesting. So this seems to be a pretty slow stuff, but there's a lot of trashing. And I do feel like I might want to get into that game, especially with like developing, because you could trash a 4. So let's see. What did my opponent grab? They grabbed a silver. I do think I want to grab a develop. Well, not with my 4. With my 4, I think I would rather grab... I'd almost be fine grabbing a Silos, but I need to grab a 4-drop. So I think I will potentially grab Salvager here. Could also grab Overlord because there's so, like, Bazaar is really powerful. Haunted Woods is pretty powerful in the early game with Overlord. Non-command. Yeah, I mean, we still have estates in the early game here. Problem I don't like with Overlord is it messes up my next turn as well. But I guess that's just what Overlord does. Let me just say thank you to the rules guys. Just going to ask also if overlording spoils trashes the Overlord. I think Overlord Pillage just doesn't do anything because of the text leaving it there. Great. Okay, so now we understand all of the rules going on. Yeah, because it says if you do, it has this if you did, that intervening if clause there. So I think Village Green is just like a solid pickup here then. We could later try to turn it into... Like, I think we're just going to want to go develop with Village Greens into Bazaars and try to do something cool. I think there's a real potential to do something cool here. My opponent just going for the silvers. I want to play a little bit splashier than that. We're going to go for a develop here. And I'm doing absolutely nothing this turn, so I'm going to take the village green now. I can also send it with Way of the Turtle. That's just strictly better than playing it, right? I forgot you can also Way of the Turtle and just keep weighing things. Wow, I forgot about that. Okay, so let's just play it now though, because I want to do something with this turn. And I think I'm going to grab a silver. I don't think I want multiple develops. You also really don't want to be developing a develop. But I also don't hate the idea of overlording. Next turn we're just going to be developing, so we could just use that time to trash some things while we start to overlord here. But I do think a silver will help us in the early game. So now we're going to develop in a state and grab another silver. And then we will play our 3 cards. Yeah, let's grab another silver. And then I might grab another develop, because I think develop's going to be pretty decent if we can snag that alongside a 4. Or maybe now we grab the Overlord. Yeah, now we have the ability to start paying off our debt. With a turn like this, yeah, we can just straight up pay off our debt this turn, and I think that will be good. I do think I will want to silos, though it depends how much I'm able to trash this game. So we shall see. Our opponent buys a salvager, so they're going to start trashing as well. We're just going to pay off our debt, and I don't think I want to buy another Overlord here. I think I'm good with this. Yeah, this is looking pretty strong anyways. So let's go ahead and do this. I will probably just Way of the Turtle my development here until there's something good. Yeah, Way of the Turtle develop is good. Oh wait, I have village green, so I should be developing my village green for sure then here. And I probably want to play something that gives me additional actions, which I think is just going to be Bazaar. So let's go Overlord, Bazaar. Let's play that. And then let's develop the village green, trashing the village green, grabbing ourselves a Bazaar, and another develop. We can take that. And now let's put another 4 into our deck. I think that's going to be stronger than Silos. Yeah, I want 4s in the deck because turning a village green into a Bazaar is so strong. But when else are you going to buy a Silos? Let's go for the Silos, because that's just going to be a really powerful play as we go into the game. And my opponent hits 8 quite quickly, but I don't think they're going to want a province this early. There's a lot going on this board. There is... Okay, they do go for the province, so we're going to be able to discard our coppers. We're going to develop one of these, and we're going to Bazaar with some other stuff. So that's 4. We'll be able to buy a village green, and we're also going to be able to trash this and grab either another develop or a silver. I don't really think we need Snowy Village, though it is an additional buy. Maybe we should grab that. Is that the only additional buy on the board? Okay, let's grab 1 Snowy Village. And then let's auto-play our treasures and grab a village green. All right, I like what we got going on here. I like what we got going on a lot. We're going to try to develop 4s wherever we can. If we can't, we Way of the Turtle them. And we're going to want to get some golds in the deck as well, which means we are going to want to develop Bazaar. Okay. Yeah, develop Bazaar and just grab a... I believe we're just grabbing off that a gold. A gold's better than hunting grounds, right? Yeah, because we're just going to keep all these coppers in our deck now that we have Silos. So we should be just trying to find the Bazaar, which I think we'd find Bazaar if we overlorded Bazaar. Let's play this. We did not... Oh, is this only +1 card? Oh, it's +1 card. Oh, all right. Well, I can't take that back now, but that was definitely a mistake. I guess we can develop the silver. I don't really want to do that. I'll probably just wave the turtle it here. Yeah, and now I've got 2 buys. And 5 actions. That's pretty crazy. So now with 6, I think I am just going to go ahead and grab a gold. I won't be able to develop the golds into provinces, so I will need to find another way to get powerful cards here. So let's go ahead and silos first. Okay, now I can develop the village green into a bazaar. And I suppose... this is tough. Yeah, stuff's getting a little bit complicated here now. Let's grab another snowy village. We only have 5. And I guess I'll develop this snowy village into a village green. Actually, I'll just wave the turtle it if I don't hit anything good here. I can't get any more actions. All right, now I develop this bazaar. Great. And we grab a gold and a village green. Now I have 5 with 3 buys, which is a heck of a lot of buys. We also have a bunch of extra actions at the end of every turn. So I think Haunted Woods is going to start looking pretty good here too. I don't want the coppers, right? No, I don't want the coppers. I was thinking like the coppers are never bad because when they're in our opener we can silos them, but I think that's a bad way to think about it. So what is better to do? I think it's better to, because this Overlord can just be a develop in this hand. Though we're close to just like natural Pravi with this hand as well. Potentially even, like one of the cool things you can do with Way of the Turtle if you're already set is just then set up your next turn. Let's go ahead and get rid of this copper. We just grabbed another one, but that's fine. Let's go Bazaar. Let's go Village Green. Let's do it now because we're so close. So now we are at 7. So we do need to hit one more card, and I think we will just go for something like... I guess Bazaar does it for us as well. So let's Overlord, grab a Bazaar, play it, and now we can just buy a province. And I think that's fine. And I think our deck's like considerably better than our opponent's as well. We also have Silos and our opponent does not. So this hand looks bad, but we actually have not even seen this hand yet. So now this hand looks incredible, obviously. We want to play Village Green, and I think we're going to be set. So, oh, I guess I have to play it for now. Silly me. Okay, so let's do it like this then. Let's go Snowy Village. Then let's throw this in the turtle. Then let's develop our Bazaar. Trashing Bazaar, grabbing a Village Green and a gold to the top of our deck. And then we can auto-play these treasures, and there's nothing we're going to be doing with them. So as much as this was a good turn, we didn't actually do anything. I think that's fine. I think I don't want to grab another Overlord here. It does give a lot of flexibility in terms of how we deal with everything. Thank you, Fire, for explaining to Yuri what's going on. Wasn't paying attention to the chat there. for a little bit. So you build your own deck. It's similar to Ascension, Yori, if you have dabbled with Ascension at all. I think I'm just going to not buy anything. It's Ascension, but the victory points take up cards in your deck. So the whole game is a mix between, let's do this first, and I think we can play it because we're going to be able to grab a province this turn. So let's go ahead and just ensure that we can grab a province. That's going to give us more than enough actions. But we still need cards, actually. So let's do this first. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's grab a library. We just have to not hit estates. Yeah, that's probably fine. Let's draw off the library. Perfect. So now we have enough to do that. We're going to turtle this, and then we're going to play this, and then we will autoplay our treasures and buy a province. And now we are beating our opponent, and they've been Haunted Woods. Okay, so yeah, basically you build up gold to purchase these cards, and then they all go back into your deck and make your deck stronger so that eventually you can buy these green cards. And this is the score right here, 14 to 13. Okay, we got a bunch of stuff going on. What is draw? Oh, that's the draw 3. So we definitely want to start with the draw 3. Then we want to Way of the Turtle, and we already have 8 again. So let's just turtle this. Sure, let's discard. Snowy Village. Snowy Village. Turtle. Turtle. Autoplay. Great. Oh, and we've got additional buys as well. Right. Okay. All done with our buys. So yeah, this game's pretty cool, pretty fun. We have additional cards coming off this turn. We've got 2 develops and 1 village green from Way of the Turtle. If we can get 1 more coin from the village green, then we have enough. So let's go ahead and draw our card first, and we're going to play this now. So now we've got 8. So now I think I should just Way of the Turtle, turtling 1 of the develops, and then Way of the Turtle, playing, trashing the estate, which grabs us an additional develop. Might as well throw it in there. It hasn't been hurting us, right? And on a turn where we want to like end the game, we can just turn our golds into duchies, which has always been part of the plan. Oh, I should be grabbing Haunting Grounds. I really should be, shouldn't I? Okay. No discards. We're just going to autoplay our treasures and kind of try to do a somewhat aggressive strategy for these provinces here. We're beating our opponent by 10, so we just want to maintain that lead, I believe, here. We will be able to village green, or I'm sorry, we will be able to develop our village green. So I think I'm going to go ahead and do that. Let's play this. Trashing village green, grabbing a bazaar. My opponent grabbed a province, so I really only have to grab that last province, but I know that it is not in the cards this turn. We will want to try to set up... maybe it could have happened this turn. But now it's probably not, so let's just go ahead and play like that is the case. Let's develop our bazaar. Oh, that's going to be our last action. Sorry, I forgot. I need to Overlord first, because otherwise we won't get to Overlord. So let's Overlord as village green. And I guess we have to play it right now. Yeah. Okay, and then let's develop Trashing Bazaar, grabbing a Hunting Grounds, and a Village Green. And then let's autoplay these. And I guess we can grab another Develop. Starts to get a little bit dicey, but we have so many golds that I'd love to turn into duchies as well. Just to give my opponent really no outs here. And they just, by the last... Wait! I lost? Oh, gosh. I was not paying enough attention there then. All right. I needed to grab a duchy. Yeah. Okay. Egg on my face. I thought we totally had that game, but my opponent bought a province in the last 2 turns, and it just totally came back and won it there. It's funny, there was a discussion happening earlier about, let's just read Fountain really quick, about streaming while playing your league games and potentially like what kind of unfair advantage does it give you. That's one of the downfalls of streaming while playing. It makes it a lot more difficult to concentrate on everything else going on while you are looking at chatters and stuff like that potentially too. All right, so we want at least 10 coppers. Does anything give you coppers? Wow, this kingdom is also really tiny too. Once per turn, +1 buy. Set aside a card from your hand. Put it into your hand. So it's kind of like Way of the Turtle. But you can only do it once. Wow, I really thought we had that one, huh? Okay. Well. My opponent went for basically just a money strategy and was able to win. And honestly, that scares me because this one looks like a money strategy as well. We will want to pick up some buys at some point, which is probably Ducat. It's maybe Salvager. I guess Salvager's pretty strong here. There's no attack. Salvager Necromancer is kind of a combo, though. I'm sorry. Urchin is an attack. Each other player discards down to 4 cards in hand. When you play another attack this turn, with this in play, you can trash this to grab a Mercenary, which says you can trash 2 cards from your hand. If you did, +2 cards, each other player discards down to 3 cards. That seems fine. Let's go that route then. Let's try to Urchin. I do like Devil's Workshop as well, and I like Necromancer. Watchtower is also interesting because you can just totally... Oh no, Watchtower doesn't negate attacks. Oh, so both of these stop attacks that give curses, but they don't really do anything against Urchin. My opponent definitely going for the same play as last game. So let's look at the zombies real quick. Trash the top card of your deck. Gain a card costing up to 1 more than it. So we could just turn our coppers into coppers. If we hit those, that's fine. Discard it or put it back. And trash an action card from your hand for +3 and +1. I do think there's a lot of play to Necromancer. I also think there's a lot of play to Devil's Workshop. And I think Devil's Workshop is pretty good early game. So I'm going to go for Devil's Workshop. This turn I can just like buy Necromancer and then use Devil's Workshop to gain like another Necromancer, or I can just get double Urchin this turn. That seems pretty tempting as well, because the sooner you do this double Urchin thing, the sooner you get a Mercenary online, which Mercenary looks really powerful. We're going to have nothing going on this turn. I guess we'll just get a Vagrant. Oh, you know what? Yeah, we should just save our urchin at some point. Oh, that's pretty cool. Okay, I like that. I'll save my urchin. Won't be doing anything with the one buy, but not doing anything with this hand otherwise. So, yeah, I like this play. Let's end our actions, play a copper, and save our urchin for our next turn. And there we go. Oh, I 100% should have bought a copper this turn. Let me see if I can. I don't think I'll be able to undo it. Okay, I will be able to. So I'm going to put another copper in my deck. That gives me 8 copper. And, wait, what happened? Did we go back? Copper. Yes. Okay. So now it's my opponent's turn, and I bought the additional copper. All right. Just making sure. All right. Opponent going for the Ducat, and now we've got double urchin. So that is absolutely wonderful. So my opponent's going to have to discard a card, and then they are not going to have to do that, but then I can trash an urchin to grab a mercenary, and things are looking pretty okay. Now Necromancer can play urchin. Okay, because now there's urchins in the trash. Okay. Don't know exactly what we're doing here yet, but I like some of what we got going on. I will be able to Devil's Workshop for a gold this turn in a pretty clean way. So we're going to end our actions. That's what my opponent just did. It's a pretty classic route for Devil's Workshop. So we are going to just urchin, set this aside, and then I'm not going to buy a copper this time. I'm going to Devil's Workshop and grab a gold, and we're going to be able to grab another mercenary this turn. So I'm feeling pretty good. I think mercenary is pretty powerful once we start getting those attacks off on our opponent. Things are looking pretty good. So, yeah, I like that a lot. Opponent buying a sheepdog, but sheepdog doesn't really protect you from the urchin. Does it protect you from the mercenary? I don't believe so. Yeah, mercenary is just a militia that also draws you 2 cards. I don't really want to get famous by buying big followers, but I appreciate the suggestion. That's the first time I've seen a spam bot on Twitch like that. So, pretty interesting. Let's turn an urchin into a mercenary, and now we have 6 with 1 buy, so let's go ahead and grab a gold. Yeah, I guess Devil's Workshop for 0. I don't normally do that as often as I probably should, but it's pretty powerful to just be able to do that. So, now we have to think about what this Necromancer is going to do. I think it just has to zombie spy for us because no way are we trashing the mercenary. So yeah, let's just... Now, it could also urchin, but that won't give us another mercenary. So it's not really worth doing. It's basically just zombie spy without the upside of getting to discard this, but we are definitely going to top deck that. Then we will trash both of our estates. Oh, I missed that part of mercenary too. Okay, so we get to trash 2 cards. That's pretty fantastic. We're going to be able to... will we want to take the coppers out of our deck? I'll consider it. I'll consider it for sure. And we will probably here just buy an additional gold. What's the way to get additional buys? It's just save. No, I swear, wasn't there another way to grab additional buys? Guess it was just Ducat. Let me look at the kingdom real quick. Oh, it was Salvager as well. Okay, let's just grab a gold for now. I think we're doing pretty good with the mercenary thing. We don't have to go super crazy. This turn we're going to be able to urchin into mercenary. That's going to feel pretty good. Get a third mercenary into our deck. That's a good play for my opponent. Set up a coffers and then just grab a gold. We're going to be able to... I think we are going to trash a copper here. I think the ability to just mercenary every turn is going to feel pretty dang good. Though, all right, let's flip that merchant. The problem with that idea is that doesn't leave us with enough to do anything else with this turn. It will leave us with 5, which isn't really something special on this board. So for right now, let's... Oh, I can trash exactly 2 cards. All right, well, then I have to do it. Let's trash 2 cards. Oh, we draw 2 as well. Okay, perfect. So I'll still be able to play this pair of cards here, grab another gold, and then Devil's Workshop and grab an imp. That's because I grabbed the mercenary and the gold. This turn I'll be able to mercenary plus grabbing a province, so this turn's looking good. And I am making up for some of my past mistakes here. And let's not get too cocky now. But hopefully I will be tying up this match and not be making as big a fool of myself. So, yeah, that was a pretty embarrassing game, that last one, but this game looks good. It looks salvageable, which I think is just a word in my general vocabulary, but of course Salvager is a card on the current board. I am going to trash both of these coppers here. We are going to say goodbye to the fountain as we now go down to 5 coppers left in our deck. But all we need each turn is mercenary plus 2 golds, and then we can buy a province. Someone brought this up in the YouTube comments for my last video, the idea of a golden deck, which is a deck in which basically you're trashing a province every turn and then buying a province, and that doesn't sound super good to me just yet because we will need to get a little bit ahead, but I think there's a potential to get a golden deck out of something like this, basically just trashing the province each turn and using that to get ahead somewhat. So we shall see. I haven't gained any cards this turn, so I could just Devil's Workshop for another gold. I don't think I'll be able to quite make a golden deck, and I actually really do want some more actions. So I think I might grab some fishing villages right now. Those start to seem a little bit good, and I will also be saving this mercenary, so we'll set that aside. Then I'll buy a fishing village, and then I'll Devil's Workshop and grab another fishing village, just because I wind up with hands like this where I have way too many mercenaries. I will be able to save one of my mercenaries with this hand, so that is pretty good. And if I'm mercenarying my opponent every turn, which hopefully I will be able to do, then it will at least get us to the point where I won't have to worry too much about what my opponent has got going on. I'm not going to trash with this hand, obviously. Let's autoplay our treasures. Let's save the mercenary and buy a province. So now I'm feeling pretty good. We're going into each turn with a mercenary on layaway, so gotta feel pretty good about that. And hopefully we can make something happen with this necromancer. But my opponent's buying provinces too. They are keeping up with us here, so that is a little bit scary. I'm not sure what we want to do with this necromancer. What is in the trash? Anything? Just a bunch of my urchins. So this hand's a little bit tricky. We get up to 5 if we mercenary, which is enough to, like, save a mercenary. I guess I would get nothing. Or I would go for the double fishing village play again. Maybe that's fine. I think let's start off just by doing Zombie Necromancer on Zombie Spy. And we can definitely top deck an Imp. Oh, though I guess we don't need to top deck an Imp because we're going to play Mercenary. Let's undo that. I just want to undo where I put the card. Hopefully my opponent understands that. So let's discard the Imp because now we're going to play Mercenary. And you can trash the 2 cards at the start of it. So that, I guess, is part of the trick. Maybe I want to get rid of this Devil's Workshop. Maybe it's just not a game, not a sub-game that I even want to bother with anymore. Just make my deck that much smaller. Get rid of a Copper and a Devil's Workshop. So it seems okay. Yeah, this way I can just focus on me. Just focus on me this turn. Let's grab a gold. Let's go ahead and save a Mercenary. And then I've got 1 buy. So Necromancer can't unfortunately get the Devil's Workshop. But if I could if I could trash a fishing village, then the Necromancers become fishing villages too. I could also just grab an Urchin here at this point because we've got the Mercenaries. All right, let's grab this. Hopefully I don't get too punished. I was going to say, I've got a bunch of gold in this deck. So I'm going to start hitting these golds consistently eventually. Oh, okay, Watchtower draws you up to 6. So it does kind of play around Mercenary. You just keep the Watchtower. You won't be able to play any of the actions that you draw, but Watchtower drawing 4 as your single action is pretty good. And my opponent can definitely get some mileage out of that. We are going to be able to get a province this turn. We are going to be able to play our Mercenary. And we are also even going to be able to save a gold. So I like a lot of what's going on here. They are going to use their coffers to buy a province just to keep up. And I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good because we got these Devil Workshop stuff. Ooh, they're going to go for the Fountain win. Well, I'm totally off the Fountain win. I believe that that is only their 8th copper. So we have to beat them before they get this Fountain. Otherwise, we've totally lost. Let's go Fishing Village. Let's go Mercenary. No trash. And... oh, you only get 2 cards if you trash cards. Okay. All right. Well, reading is important, obviously. But let's just go ahead. No point in... well, there's no point in not saving the province. If we just save the province, that means that we don't have to draw it next turn. So I feel okay about what's going on. I'll Mercenary my 2 coppers here. My opponent, yeah, they can't have that great of buys. But now they could just buy 2 coppers this turn. And I am actually in a really tough spot. All right, they go for a silver and a copper. So I would basically have to win this turn, which seems impossible. So do I still want to be trashing these coppers? Oof. I can't win this turn, and my opponent's going to be able to buy a copper. So how do we deal with this? Can't trash my provinces, obviously. Let's trash them because otherwise I'm not doing anything this turn. They're going to have to discard 2 cards. But this is so much. This is 15 victory points. Whew, yeah, we've messed up here, haven't we? So I could like save a gold and start buying Ducats. I guess I need salvagers. I need a bunch of buys. Which I guess it means I need Devil's Workshops actually too. Those are just free buys. All right. Let's save a gold. Buy a Devil's Workshop. We messed up here. We messed up here for sure, but Hopefully by pulling off the reins a little bit, we'll grab the duchies, we'll grab the fountain. We're just gonna pull off my opponent. Yeah, they grabbed the fountain, but I'm not ending the game. I'm gonna grab the fountain. I have no coppers in my deck right now. I've trashed every single one of my coppers. But all that means is we know exactly how many coppers I need to buy. Perfect. Okay. Start with this. This is going to be a big turn. This is a big turn. So that's good. What do we have in here? We've got... Okay, that's probably just... I could Necromancer this turn, actually. And by that I mean Zombie Apprentice trashing the fishing village. Okay, let's do that. Necromancer, Zombie Apprentice, trash the fishing village. That gives me 3 cards and an action. I'll play another fishing village. I'll play Mercenary. I'll flip the Urchin. Don't want to trash anything. All right, let's save the gold and grab another Devil's Workshop. I definitely put myself into a pickle on this one. But I think that's okay. I think... Oh, yeah, Urchin is pretty good against save, isn't it? All right, my opponent's grabbing a duchy. We're in for a long one here with this time, with this game. I definitely messed up. So let's see. I can... Yeah, we're going to want buys. Gain a card costing up to 4. I don't know. Maybe I can just Devil's Workshop my way back into this. That's maybe good enough. Yeah, I almost just went Devil's Workshop more than I went gold, but because I'm going to be diluting my deck so much, I think I am going to grab some golds here as well. And let's just start grabbing coppers. And that gives me an imp as well, actually. So maybe I should have grabbed copper, then imp. My opponent grabs the penultimate province. Things are not looking good. Things are not looking good indeed, because we didn't mercenary them that turn. Man, oh man. Yeah, we put ourselves in a tough spot here. So let's imp into Necromancer, into I guess into... Yeah, Zombie Mason is just... Zombie Mason could lose me the game if I trash my province, is the problem. Why can I not get... Oh, non-duration. Non-duration. Well, that is awkward. Let's top deck it. All right, let's play Mercenary. It's not trash. Let's go ahead and save a Mercenary. Wait, did I top deck it? I shouldn't be top decking multiple Mercenaries. If I'm playing this, if I'm buying the save, so I can set a card aside. All right, we're a little bit in the hole here. Let's do... All right. I've got to undo the top deck of the Mercenary. One last one. One last one. All right. All right. So where is it? Oh my gosh, one more. right, so let's discard this. Then let's play the Mercenary. We're going to not trash, autoplay our treasures, save a Mercenary, and I guess we just start buying coppers as much as we can, or do we just buy all the duchies? I'd have to buy 5 duchies, or I'd have to buy 10 coppers. Yeah, why? I can't even... this is yeah, an incredible pickle. I guess let's buy the duchies. The duchies are cheaper, right? Because I would need 5 duchies, or I would need 10 coppers. And that's just way too many. I don't think we're going to be able to drag this game out long enough to have the fountain matter. And I was worried about the fountain when I saw it. I thought maybe I could be aggressive enough that things would go well for us. And they get to grab one of anything here. Yeah, this is really tough for us. They're going to grab an urchin now. Yeah, makes sense. All right, so let's imp into Mercenary, and we're done trashing. So let's not trash. Let's just save the Mercenary and buy a copper. Let's buy coppers when we can too. So this turn I get to Mercenary them. We'd have to hold them off like forever. This feels not winnable, but we're going to go Mercenary. We're not going to trash because our hand is all golds. Then I think I'm going to buy a duchy. I'm going to save a gold. We're going to buy a duchy and then Devil's Workshop a copper. I think there's potentially a way back into it like that. Problem is we're making our deck so much bigger and worse. Is this even better than just like grabbing estates? I don't think we can win if we just grab estates. I think we need the fountain. Problem is right now, if we had the fountain and the last province, we'd lose. All right, and my opponent is able to get a victory there. So we are now 1-3, and that was a pretty humiliating defeat there as well, because it looked like we were so ahead. It looked like we were doing so well with all the provinces, but my opponent even had more provinces than us by the end of the game, because we had so much time that we had just spent where we were afraid to put the game in a place where it could end soon. So they were able to grab the last 2 provinces. And yeah, that was not great. Okie dokie. So we definitely lost a game or 2, I think, where we got too cocky. And I think that's... I guess I'll go ahead and take a look at the kingdom here now. But that's definitely a big issue in Dominion, is getting too cocky is basically the whole game, because you want to figure out when you should win, when you should hold back, etc. And both of these games, I thought I could win, and that turned out not to be the case. So let's take a quick look at the kingdom here as my opponent takes a bathroom break. We've got plan as an event. Move your trashing token to an action supply pile. When you buy a card from that pile, you may trash a card from your hand. I really like that because I like to buy a bunch of the same card. So that's pretty cool. When you gain a victory card, take 2 victory points. So the victory points are a lot more powerful in the early game. So we are going to want to consider that for sure. Five-two split would be really cool in this one. Procession is really good. All right, there's a lot going on in this kingdom for sure. I'm seeing a lot of trashing here too. There is an attack. There is an attack. Oh, and there's moat. Okay, so moat hopefully will just kind of neutralize the Swindler. But the problem is procession doesn't really seem that good in this kingdom. Tracker, I think, is amazing, but what else is good in this kingdom? I guess raise is good to get rid of your estates early. Oh, there's lighthouse and there's moat. Yeah, so it really seems not worthwhile to go for the attacks in this kingdom. You may put your deck into your discard pile. And Messenger, if it's the first buy in the turn, you get to gain something and then your opponent gets to gain it as well. Okay, and Pouch gives you an additional buy. Wow. There's some really interesting stuff going on. Tracker gave us the Pouch. Yeah, a lot of cheap cards this game for sure my opponent brings up. Nothing too crazy, honestly, going on in this one. This one might just be a pretty straightforward game with Battlefield being the biggest weird thing to consider. Obviously, we do want to grab some lighthouses and some expensive cards. Or, I'm sorry, we want to grab some lighthouses and some moats to protect against the attacks, but I don't know. We also don't need to go too crazy here. Like, none of these cards are even particularly that powerful. So I think what we want to do is we just want to raise and, like, thin out our deck, but I also kind of just want to buy a plan if that's the case. But then which of these actions would I go for? If I went for plan, then which of these actions would I go for? Wishing Well? I could see that. Okay. My opponent is asking for a little takebacks. They are going to go for a Swindler. All right, well then we're going to have to grab a Lighthouse, I suppose. Because Swindler is just so annoying. I was hoping we could just both agree to not swindle each other. But I guess this is the game that we're going to have to play. So let's just buy a lighthouse and a moat, I believe. Let's buy one of each. That way we've got a little bit of a mix of both of our defensive cards here. And then I got to decide if I want to go for a planned first or a Swindler first. But both of those seem like pretty reasonable options. How do we get additional buys? Can we get them in any capacity other than, I guess, Messenger, right? What would it be? It would be plan, and I would be planning. I mean, I was planning on the wishing well. Now it feels like I might have to put my plans into the Swindler. So let's just buy a Swindler here first, because I don't think I want a bunch of Swindlers. Might not even want plan at all. Though I do think it's going to be good, actually. So whenever you buy a wishing well, you'd be able to trash a card from your hand. Yeah, so I do like that. If only one buy here. I like Patron. I like just having, I like the existence of villagers. So I like what we got going on here. I think I am going to get swindled this turn, unfortunately, after my opponent raises. Oh, and especially after they raise an estate, because now they'll be able to take one of these two cards if it is their Swindler. So, yeah, I'm going to get swindlered here. I trashed a moat, which is fine, because it means that I'd much rather that than, oh, and I got 2 victory points from the battlefield. Okay, so my opponent took my moat, but they gave me a duchy. Honestly, we can't feel too bad about that one. So we're going to go Lighthouse, we're going to go Swindler, and that is going to trash a Patron. So I think we just give them Procession. Like, Procession really doesn't seem... I know Procession is really good. My opponent now just realizing that they gave me 3 with Battlefield. So... I don't know. Yeah, Messenger, I think, is pretty good. I don't know. Procession seems bad, so I think I'm going to give them Procession. I do think Procession is a great card, so maybe this can backfire. But I think I like it for now. So now I think my plan is to... Oh, I could go Tracker, or I could grab Moat and then grab Messenger. I think I like that. I also like Moat plus Patron because I like the idea of having villagers when I'm using Patron. We're definitely going to grab a Moat. And then I think I want to grab a... Yeah, I like the villagers. Let's grab some villagers. I have 4 estates in this hand, so that is certainly a little bit awkward to not have anything that I can do. But I do have a lighthouse as well, so I will be able to grab another lighthouse here. And maybe lighthouse is just better than Moat, but yeah, we'll be able to grab a lighthouse here. So I like that a lot. Raise also allows you to just like churn through your estates, just buy the estates early and then raise them. That's kind of interesting. Maybe I do just buy a duchy. Maybe I do just buy a duchy while the getting's good. Feels like that can't be right. But 2 extra victory points is pretty cool. I do think I'd want to have a raise before I really start to get the estates. So maybe I do just grab a raise here. We are going to have coppers that we need to discard. Maybe it's just better than plan because we're not planning on playing any one action multiple times. Let me just read Native Village again. Put the top card of your deck face down on your Native Village mat or grab your Native Village mat. And then you also always get 2 actions. It's cool. It's a good way to like potentially get rid of some estates and things like that. And it's +2 actions. Alright, let's go for this. Yeah, so here I just go Patron into Swindler, and then I won't be able to buy a province, unfortunately. That'll give me 7 with only 1 buy. So a little bit annoying. He took my pouch as well, which is also annoying. And pouch costs 2, so he will be giving me a 2 for that. And I'm not sure if he'll want to give me an estate again. Though he might. He certainly might. Seems like that's not super great. Okay, they're going to go for another native village. So, or not another native village, right? That's my first native village. Let's go Patron into Swindler. And they trashed a copper, so they get the first curse of the game. Looking good, looking good. I do like golds, especially in games with swindlers, because they can't be swindlered. So, oh, neither can duchies. That's pretty funny. Wait. Okay. Duchies are actually reactions. Because if they trash a duchy, they have to give you another duchy, which will give you 2 additional victory points. I think that might be big. It seems silly, but I think that that might be a big thing this game. So Swindler, you have to give them something that has the same cost as the card that you chose. I'm not going to willingly allow a Swindler to go through, but should it happen, they're going to have to give me another duchy and give me 2 more free victory points. I do want to get my raise on as soon as possible. Now I'm feeling like I grabbed a native village and then my opponent gave me an additional native village. They played a procession doing nothing, so there we go. Procession was a good card to give them. It did absolutely bugger all for them. And then they grabbed another raise. Okay, well, we're going to grab a raise here soon. 2, though we do need an additional buy. Yeah, this is awkward. No actions. We do have 6, though, so I think I am going to grab a gold here. Fine, grabbing a gold. And hopefully we'll be able to, yeah, we'll just be able to send a villager into our next turn. And my opponent's for sure going to grab a province here with the 2 victory points from Battlefield. It's going to make this game pretty close. Pretty close and pretty scary indeed. I could grab a plan, but I think I just want to grab a raise at this point. I also do really like Swindler. And my opponent hasn't gone that heavy on the lighthouses and things, so maybe Swindler would keep them honest, but raise can also just trash the curses should anyone get cursed, and I'd love to get rid of some of these estates and things as well. So, yeah, I like what we're doing here. We're going to native village. We're going to start setting cards aside if we get a bunch of extra stuff. We're actually not drawing any cards this turn, right? Yeah, but we're going to have 4 coin, and that will probably just be a patron, considering it's 4 coin and only 1 buy. So they raised a raise. I feel like I have to discard or read raise now. Oh, okay. They're just discarding cards from the top of their deck. Playing a Swindler, trashing my estate. I'm probably going to grab another native village, I have to imagine at this point, from this estate. Yeah, so they're keeping me stock full of native villages, but hopefully I can put a bunch of stuff in that and kind of make that a thing. So I don't have anything on my village mat right now, so let's set a card aside, and I set a copper aside. Then we go Lighthouse, Swindler, and we trashed an estate. I do think we're going to follow their lead and give them a native village as well. And then we've got the option to grab a 4 with only 1 buy. Let's grab a patron. Okay, we're doing something here. We're doing something. We have the villager. That's why I like patron. They play a procession into a raise, so that's going to let them grab 2 3-cost cards. They trash a curse, doing nothing. Then playing the raise again is going to let them trash. They do have to trash something, right? Oh, you can also trash raise if you want. Oh, so raise can always just trash itself. That's kind of cool. Oh, interesting. But will that allow him to process? Oh, he trashed a copper the second time. Okay. Then he trashed the raise from the procession and grabbed a Swindler. Yeah, I do think that could be powerful. Let's start with raise, trashing estate. We grabbed a copper. Now let's moat into 2 more cards. This is definitely worth a villager. This is definitely worth a villager. And now we can play out our hand. We only have 1 buy, but a province is a pretty good buy while the battlefield is still active. This turn I'll be tempted to native village, put something in, native village, take something out. So we'll see how that works. My opponent could clear the battlefield this turn, grabbing 2 estates. Wouldn't be super powerful, but yeah, they are going to grab one of the last 2 estates here. And to be honest, I'm tempted to native village, claim the copper, and then native village, put something in. So let's pick up, grab the copper that we had there, and then let's put something in, putting in a Swindler. And then let's go ahead and just buy the last estate, I think. Just grab a two cost duchy, I think is going to be pretty reasonable. And yeah, be pretty decent for us. So now we could like raise a gold. I don't know if that's any good. How many of the cards do we discard? Put 1 of them into your hand and discard the rest. Yeah, so that's not good. All right, they discarded a lighthouse. Well, now they can just give us the estates because now the battlefield is totally offline. So I have to imagine, yeah, I'll be getting estates here. And then they trashed me a province and got me a province. But that's fine because we're ahead. And that makes the game a little bit closer to ending. So I like that. We only have 6 coin in our hand. So the chances of raising into something else good, I think, is not super likely. So I think I'm just going to stockpile another villager, end my actions, and just buy an additional gold here. My opponent's pretty close up to me at this point. Grabbing another province means they're now only 1 victory point behind me, and I'm really not feeling so hot this game. We will be able to get our Swindler back, so I appreciate that, and we will be able to buy a province this turn. So we could have a pretty big turn here. Duchies, provinces, and golds all cannot be swindled, so we all kind of have our own Swindler protection going on. Let's take a look at the log again. They're swindling. They're going to take a moat. They're going to give me another estate. So our deck is really loaded on here and really not looking too hot. But I am definitely going to grab the Swindler for my native village because that's going to put us up to 8. So let's pick it up. Let's just cycle through these patrons and turn them into villagers. Now I actually really want moats. We are going to trash their lighthouse, and I think we're just going to give them a native village. This game is going to be really close, so I don't think I want to give them estates. Could definitely be wrong. I mean, yeah, there's definitely some good stuff going on here. My opponent is maintaining the gap here. We're going to raise the native village, trashing that into one of these other 2 cards. Are we just short? We are just short, right? What do I have set aside? Nothing. Nothing. All right, let's grab the patron. Let's play the patron. Let's play out the rest of our hand. And now we have 7, which is really unfortunate. I almost feel like we're at the point in the game where we have to grab a duchy. Because if my opponent grabs the last 2 provinces, they win. But one duchy doesn't change that. Two duchies does change that. We make our deck so bad at that point. Well, you know what? We just shuffled our deck. We've got 3 more turns before we shuffle our deck again. So, yeah, let's just go for this. I'm really hoping at this point in the game that a province gets swindled, because I think that could really throw off the math for my opponent. However, it could also mean they win the game this turn. If they can swindle my province and then buy a province. Okay, they trashed a copper. That gives me a curse, though. So that still could have been bad. But here, if I swindler their province and then buy a duchy, we win. So we do have outs. They trashed a swindler. At this point, we're just going to give them a wishing well, and then I'm going to buy a duchy. All right, we are 1 victory point ahead of them. First person to buy a province is going to win. So definitely not looking too good for us. I want to buy a moat this turn. I suppose I'm not gonna stress about the 1 victory point. Moat would be so good for us. Like if we had a bunch of moats in our deck, if we hadn't been trashing them the whole time. Do feel like we are not going to win this one, that we probably just have too much crapola in our deck. But yeah, an estate isn't really going to get us anywhere. It's really just going to be whoever buys this last province. Maybe Swindler could help us get there too. Okay, let's buy Swindler. This turn we just native village doing nothing, and then we will patron. My opponent has 3 cards and we don't get to see them on their native village mat. They set another card aside, grabbing 4 here and just grabbing another Swindler as well. So we believe I believe we have nothing in our native village. Yeah, that's true. So let's native village, let's set aside, and we set aside a patron. It's fine. Let's play another patron, and at this point, could 1 estate matter? I think 1 moat could be really good. Yeah, because we just have all of these villagers here. My opponent has 2 villagers. Obviously, there's definitely some diminishing returns on villagers there. They procession for nothing, which feels great that we gave them that procession. They've been able to use it once. The other 2 times, it's basically just been a curse. And they're going to buy a silver. So let's go for moat. I'm really nervous that we hit their province and just lose, but then all we have to do is buy the duchy. So that could be good for us here. Let's Swindler to find out what we're working with here. They trashed a native village. We're going to give them another native village. So I could buy a duchy if I claim my patron. If I claim my patron, I can buy a duchy. How does that seem for us? Or I just keep stockpiling with the native village and then eventually buy the province. I think that's going to be better for us. So let's set something aside. Let's play this, and I think let's buy 1 more Swindler. Because we would have won if we swindlered appropriately. All right, well, this is a province turn. So if my opponent can't win in this turn, we win. Even if they buy a duchy, we win. Even if they buy a duchy, we win this one. So this is going to be... Wow, they wished for native village and found it. And they have 3 cards in their native village. Wow. Well played. That was the card that won them the game. They native villaged, they grabbed all their cards, and they got the win. Well, you can't be too mad at a play like that. Wishing well, which we gave them. Wishing for native village, which we also gave them. And they are able to get their 4th win against us here. So that makes us a 1-4. We are still going to play out the last game here and see if we can end this a little bit more respectably. But honestly, my opponent has played a lot better than I have in all of these games. So definitely well played by them. And yeah, there's a game, there's a good instance where being on the play would have won us the game, potentially. Obviously, butterfly effect, a lot of other things would have happened differently, but our opponent definitely winning there off the back of being on the play. And this game, we've got colonies and platinum, so we've got some big cards. I'm going to say big cards, finally, to my opponent. And yeah, big cards we do have indeed. Silos is going to be crazy powerful with King's Court. Treasury is an insane card. I want to prioritize getting Treasury. Oh no, this is Treasury, not Treasurer. Okay, well, Treasury is still going to be pretty good, I have to imagine. Do we have any attacks? This isn't an attack. At the start of your next turn, +2 cards. We've got Develop. Okay, Develop has to seem pretty good here. We definitely want to save our coffers. I don't know what gave us the coffers. Baker? Yeah, set up each player gets a coffers. Okay. I feel like Develop isn't a bad way to get to King's Court. Oh, but there's no 4s? Okay, we have to let that be a positive. So we actually want to rush to Baker's? Yeah, we want to rush Baker. So we're going to buy Baker next turn. So what does that mean? We'd also buy Mandarin next turn. I think we buy Baker next turn, but does that mean we want Develop? I don't think so. We could develop the Baker into a gold, but I don't think that's better than Baker. So I think we just buy silver. We could buy Hermit. Look through your discard pile. We trash a non-treasure from your discard pile or your hand. Gain a card costing up to 3. You know what? I think this is fine for now. We can't trash treasures. But we can get rid of the overgrown estate. And we can grab like silvers with it. Okay. Let's grab this. On our second turn, we're going to grab Baker. And the whole goal here is going to be King's Court. And then this is going to be a long-ass Game 6. This game's going to go on for a while. And, oh, we can just do that too. Oh, that's even better. Okay. Let's auto-play our treasures and grab the Baker. Alright, I like that a lot. When you discard this from play, if you didn't buy any cards this turn, okay, we can trash our overgrown estate. Which has got to be good. So let's confirm trashing on that. We're out of action, so we lost the Baker. And so what is this? If we didn't buy any cards this turn, trash this and gain a Madman. So now all we have to do is find buys, which is Council Room. I also can't develop platinum. I mean, we can develop platinum into a province, but it's not like the best use of a platinum. So I think we just want to go ahead and grab silver now, because we do want a King's Court as soon as we can. If we don't use this at all, it becomes a madman. Yeah, I'm going to end my buys. Actually, I could keep this as a hermit, and I could just turn my hovel into an estate. I guess that's fine, too. No. Yeah, let's end buys. Because we wanna get the madman as soon as possible so that we can King's Court as soon as possible. That is the real trick here. If we were able to play the baker, we'd be able to King's Court now. But it's fine that we didn't. Once we get the King's Court, we really want to start trashing things to keep our deck small. And we have no way to trash treasures other than develop, which is really slow, but King's Court develop, trashing 3 coppers is basically like a make your own chapel. It's a very, very expensive chapel, but I think that's going to be worth it. Because getting these coppers out of our deck is then just going to allow us to King's Court Baker, which I think will start leading to some really powerful turns. We get a bunch of coffers, and then we could potentially get like a bunch of colonies all at once. So let's just buy another baker for now. Treasury is obviously really good, but I think we're playing more for the long game than my opponent, and Treasury is just as good as Baker. All right, they're grabbing a second Treasury. Treasury is obviously super powerful. We're going to lead with Baker. And I'm going to go Madman because I want a King's Court. So let's do that. We have King's Court available now. Might as well piggy this. And let's autoplay and buy a King's Court. There we go. First person to King's Court. Can't be that bad, right? We're gaining all of these passive coffers here as well. Now I'm going to put in another coffer and then develop this turn. I do think we're going to want to develop whenever possible. And even if we get like extra develops that we don't like, we can always just Way of the Pig. Like if we get stuck with King's Court Develop, we could Way of the Pig that. So that's going to be pretty good for us too, I think. Yeah, Baker's just a better piggy. We can grab another King's Court here. I do think I have to enjoy that. What else are coffers going to get used for? And you get the coffers back so quickly through the King's Court. Let me just double check I didn't overpay there. Yeah. So let's grab a second King's Court. Of course, this hand's pretty bad with King's Court, but eventually I think we're going to be making some really good plays. Treasury obviously is not bad either, and it might be something that we want to consider. But I don't know. I think King's Court is a little bit better. Not King's Court, Baker. I think Baker's a little bit better. It's just coffers as opposed to coin, but then obviously, well, I guess that's not really a downside to it either. Oh, that's right. I can piggy this away. I can piggy this away, and then let's go Baker. So this is 6. I could use 1 coffer to King's Court. Okay, I like it. We're going all in on the King's Court strat because you can't get burned with a King's Court in this kingdom. With Way of the Pig, you just piggy your King's Court and you're feeling pretty good. Obviously, my opponent's doing some really nice stuff over there with Treasury, but all their turns aren't going to be winners. All right, well, there they go, King's Court and top decking 2 Treasuries, but I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good here. Let's King's Court the Baker. We're going to play it always. Play it always. Then we're going to King's Court another baker, and we're going to play it. We're going to play it. And that is feeling pretty dang good. So now we just have to work some additional buys into this. And honestly, I'm feeling great. The only way to get buys is Council Room, which is certainly a little bit spicy, right? Let's do one more King's Court. Let's grab one more King's Court here because, and this is what I was thinking too, even a double King's Court hand, which is normally pretty bad, actually becomes pretty dang good. You just King's Court the King's Court and turn them into little piggies. My opponent having a wonderful turn there, grabbing a colony. But I think we can go bigger. This is what everybody in the comments was telling me on the last video, was find the ways to go bigger. So we are piggying this. Then we're going to play it on the baker. We're going to play the baker. We're going to play the baker. Choose the way we play the King's Court. We're going to play it on the baker. Then we play the baker. Then we play the baker. Yeah, now we King's Court Necropolis and continue to draw the rest of the deck. King's Court, piggy, piggy, piggy. So this is 9. So I could buy my first platinum here. I could also buy a colony, which trashes my hovel. I think the biggest thing is going to be buys, really, right? Because I'm just getting all of these things. Yeah, if I council room, I want to work in a council room here ASAP. I know that's going to help my opponent as well, but I think I have to be okay with that. That would allow me to grab silos as well, which will probably ensure that I never brick. So yeah, I like what we got going on here now. Okay, cool. They're grabbing a council room as well. They see how crazy this game might get. So we're going to King's Court Baker, playing it as a Baker. Always play it as a Baker. King's Court Baker, play. Let's do it. Let's do it. King's Court. Oh, wait. Oh, let's just do it like this. Play it as a piggy. Play it once as a council room, and then play it as a piggy again, grabbing the last card here. These things, unfortunately, will just fizzle, but that's fine. Okay, so now with the 2 buys, I think we want to grab a Silos. Then I think we might want to grab something else big, like a platinum. But we are effectively engineering here now. So to grab a platinum, we would need to use 4 of our coffers. So let's go ahead then and grab a Silos and a platinum. And I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good about this one. We just can't get cocky. Got to make sure we don't fall behind too much. We know that in any given turn we'll be able to buy 3 colonies. So we can always buy 3 colonies. If we slip in another council room now, then we'll be able to buy probably 6 colonies. So maybe if we buy a council room this turn, we'll be able to end it next turn. Seems good. Seems good. So the way that we do that is King's Court Baker, always playing the Baker. Then we King's Court, and let's go ahead and let's King's Court Baker. Always play Baker. Always play Baker. Consider the way that you play the King's Court. We're going to go for piggies on King's Court. And let's see. Yeah, we have 6 extra actions, so let's just draw the rest of our cards here. Let's pig. I mean, one of these last 2 cards. I have 20. Let's just King's Court and pig the Necropolis just to make sure that we draw the council room here. Okay, and now I think I want to play the council room once so that I have the additional buy, right? And what else did I say I wanted to buy? I don't remember. But let's autoplay our treasures. So if we just buy council room, I think if we just buy council room colony here, it's pretty tough for us to lose. So how much more do we need for that? We need to use 2 of our coffers. Yeah, let's buy council room and let's buy our first colony and let's trash our hovel. Great. And we fizzled here a little bit, but we get to discard our 2 coppers with our silos, and we'll be able to draw those back at the end of it all. So we're feeling pretty good. Our opponent gives us a free Necropolis, and they're going to buy a colony and a province, which will put them up to 38, but we will be able to get to 50 when we buy all of the colonies this turn. So let's discard these. Just want to make sure that math is right, but no time to check the math now. Let's go for Baker. Always playing Baker. Always playing Baker. Let's King's Court the council room. We need all of the buys, right? So let's play this, and then, well, we only need 4 buys, and we're going to get the last buy here. So let's just pig it. Let's King's Court into Baker. Always playing it. Great. And now we need an additional buy from council room. And let's end the actions. 24. Oh, are we like 1 short? 24 plus 9 plus 5. Yeah, we're like 1 short. Right? Because that's 14. So this is 38 with 4 buys. Oh gosh. Okay, so let's buy. Undo. Forgot to turn in some of my coppers here, or my coffers. So it's just 19 plus 19, which is 36. I think this is the play that we have to make here now, unfortunately. Unless we just buy... Oh, that's a lot safer for play. Let's buy a bunch of provinces. So let's buy 4 provinces, which is 16, 32. Oh, no, because provinces are almost as expensive as the colonies. Okay, that's why it's a bad play. Maybe we could buy 1 platinum. That would be 17. Buy a platinum in a province. I think that's going to be good enough, platinum plus province, and just save our coffers, because our coffers can always turn into colonies. And we just don't want to accidentally have the game be endable. Oh, but then why did I give him all these buys? I should make use of my buys here. Oh, wait, cancel. Okay, that's fine. So let's make 3 of them coffers, and then you can actually do your coffers one at a time. So then let's bring this up to 20. And now let's make the same play, but let's buy 2 colonies as well. Oh my gosh, I just cannot math. All right. Okay. I don't know how I keep messing this math up. But math is tough. So what do we even want to do? Just afraid if I only put 1 colony left. 40. Can't I just use all of it by all the colonies in a province, so that way the best case he can do is tie? Maybe that's fine. It'd be really lame if he tied this game. But he has like no coffers either. Oh, because I keep thinking that this costs 10. Okay. So this will be 33 plus a duchy. Let's undo this one last time. We're going to buy 2 colonies is 22. That leaves me with 16. So 2 colonies, 2 province. Two colonies, 2 province is got to be good enough. I think we can run through the whole deck again next turn. Let's do it. Colony, colony, province, province. All right, sorry about that. There was some complicated math. I think we'll still be able to get there with Silos. We gave my opponent 3 extra cards this turn. It's probably going to be enough to do some really busted stuff with Treasury. They only have 1 King's Court, but they are playing it here indeed. And 9. Wow. Okay. So that's really lucky. We should be able to end the game here this turn. My opponent buys a platinum, which allows them to top deck their treasury. We are going to get rid of 2 copper. We draw 2 colonies, but I think we are looking good here. Let's pig this. Let's pig it again. And let's pig it again, of course. And then let's King's Court. Let's pig this. Let's play it. Bakering. Always play Baker. Always play Baker. Let's play King's Court. Pigging the King's Court. Let's play King's Court. Council Rooming. Let's just draw through everything. Make sure we get her done. Yep. How do we want to play our King's Court? We want to play it on the Baker. Playing it. Playing it. Then we can end our actions. Autoplay the treasures. And how much do we got? We got enough for 2 colonies. So let's zip it and rip it here. Grab those last 2 colonies, and colony costs 11. I thought for sure we had it. My opponent being very gracious and allowing us some takebacks here. I think we're at the point in no return here, beating my opponent by 22. But, you know, these are my first league games with Colony, and I know it's random, but I have not been getting these colonies a lot. So we will see my opponent now with 2 buys, but Colony Province isn't going to do it. They are going to go for it and just let the game end there, though. I think the writing was on the wall with that one, and we end this series 2-4. So definitely not spectacular. That makes us even in the league overall. So can't be too upset about that. We are now 6-6 in our total of games. I'm just going to give my opponents a GG's there. So they did kick our butts there with a 4-2 record. So great job there. DW Kayoff. I'm not sure how you pronounce that name there. But yeah, that was a really good match. A lot of fun. I think I learned something. I got to do a little bit of comboing. I had a little engine thing going on, and definitely made some mistakes and got a little cocky and was punished for it. But I think that that's always good. I think that I will definitely be watching through all of these games myself to kind of see where I went wrong, and hopefully can figure out that and improve for the future. I'm going to go ahead and end the stream, but thank you guys very much for watching. If you're watching live, you can catch the full stream on YouTube and catch up here. And if you are watching on YouTube, then feel free to check out my Twitch channel where you can watch me play live and interact with me a little bit. It is a little bit difficult, as you saw, for me to, as I'm learning kind of some of the intricate strategies of Dominion, try to also contribute good commentary and pay attention to the chat, mostly because the chat doesn't actually pop up on the screen here for me. So I'm kind of getting used to that again, I think, because I haven't streamed in a little while. But hopefully, if you watch this, you enjoyed, and that's going to be it for me today. So thank you very much for watching. I'm NoLucksGiven. Peace.